Hey, what is up guys, it's BrenSki and I'm here today with a new series. So today begins the first episode of the BrenSki show, hashtag BrenSki show. So this new series is kind of a spin-off of the Ask Gary V show. Those of you who are familiar with that, it is basically my own version of that show because as Gary says, if you guys are followers of Gary Vaynerchuk, he recommends to everyone to have a pillar show for their content.
Pillar content creates content underneath it at scale.
So guys, this is going to be my pillar show. So if you're wondering, what is this pillar show about? Well, basically, it is going to be a new series in which I talk about something. You know, I may bring guests onto the show at some point. Today's episode, obviously not gonna have any guests. I am currently at my dad's house back in Land O'Lakes, but I do plan to have some guests on here. You know, I just want to bring a whole lot of value to you guys, different kinds of topics. You know, some of you guys may be interested in some of the topics, some of you guys may not be interested. To each their own. Everyone has their own interests, whether you're interested in books. That's what I'm going to be talking a lot about today. You know, my plans for 2017 with that. But, you know, I may have a dancer featured on here. I may have some more e-commerce type of guys on here. You never know. A lot of people from the UCF area got to represent UCF, so going to be bringing a whole lot of those kind of people on here. I definitely plan to do that in the future, but some of them, you know, it's going to be me, it's going to be people. I just want to bring a whole lot of value to you guys. I think this whole new series is going to be really bringing it hard, bringing it strong for 2017. I think it's going to be really fun to see how this whole thing goes. This is just the pilot. This is episode 1. This is the beginning of a new evolution. No, I'm just kidding. For those of you guys who are followers of my channel, you know what I'm talking about with evolution. No, this is a new series. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be interesting. And by the way, these are going to be available on pretty much every single platform. I'm gonna be putting these out on YouTube, Facebook, whatever. I'm pretty much platform agnostic with this type of thing. I just want to get it out there to as many of you guys as possible. So for today's episode, I'm going to be going over my book list moving into 2017. So first book we have here is Crush It, of course, Gary Vaynerchuk. I'm going to be starting from the beginning. I've already started getting into Crush It. I love it so far. I really am interested to see what all he has to say about branding and just crushing on your passion. You know, that's what all this book is about. That's a lot about what Gary Vee talks about if you guys are not followers of him, but this is his first book, so I figured I would start out with the beginning and move through his progression of the 4 books that he has. Currently, I have 2 right here. I'm working on getting the other one, then one of my friends has the Jab, 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 Right Hook. I'm just gonna borrow it from him. But basically, I would, you know, start from the beginning with Crush It. That's what I'm gonna be doing. So that is the first book. Second, of course, Thank You Economy from Gary Vaynerchuk. This is basically talking about marketing strategies for the new era and how we market. I think this book is from 2012 or something like that, but it's a little bit older, but everything is still applicable with what he has to say about internet marketing and all of that kind of stuff. And moving right along into the next one, so this one is Riveted. This one is actually, I find really interesting. I have not gotten into it yet at all, but it is about the science of storytelling. So I find that so encapsulating, so interesting to me because, you know, as humans, we all walk around, we all tell stories to people. And if I were to know the science of storytelling, maybe I could tell better stories, how to encapsulate people better. I'm using the word encapsulate. I don't know where that came from, but anyway, I find this really interesting. I have a couple of psychological type books within my mix for 2017, as you'll see in the next one, but it's just something I wanted to get into because, you know, whether I'm into marketing or psychology or whatever, you know, everything helps. Everything you learn has some sort of benefit, I would hope. You know, something can be applicable from it. And I found this pretty interesting, and the cover looks pretty cool. It's got a little eye. I think that design, pretty nice in my opinion. So anyways, I went with that, Science of Storytelling. Moving along to the next one. This one is The Mindful Brain. Now, this book, actually, I really don't know a whole lot about, but it was recommended by my friend Alan. So he was like, yes, Mindful Brain, or I think it was Zach actually who told me that Alan's recommended it to him. So anyways, recommendation through a recommendation. Anyway, it's pretty good, obviously. I mean, I would take any recommendation from one of my friends for like a book like this, I'll definitely take. So, you know, I don't know a whole lot about it, but it's going to be interesting to find out. I could tell it's probably about something with psychology, at least from what I've read, just a little bit into the back cover and all of that about it. But, you know, I'm really interested to get into this one as well. Then next, we have the Managing Oneself. Now, this was actually the #1 book on Tai Lopez's book list. That's really why I went into this one. because it was the #1 book recommended by him. So I was like, okay, well, he reads a lot of books, probably should go off of his #1 recommendation, and it's also Harvard Business Review. It's about just managing yourself, obviously, hence the title, duh, and about business and just everything overall. So I figured that this one would also be a good pick. And then lastly, this is a big boy book. This one's a real thick one right there. So I think it's like 400 pages. This is going to be keeping me occupied for a while when I do get to this one. This one is Total Recall. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger's, I believe it's autobiography about himself and, you know, figuring out about his life. You know, he came to this country as an immigrant and did so many things. He's still doing things today. It's pretty impressive, and, you know, I am into lifting too, so it's another reason maybe why I picked this book, just because I like lifting, and Arnold Schwarzenegger was like the pillar of lifting back during his prime, so it's pretty intense. And, you know, maybe I'll pick up some good information, good pointers from this one. So yeah, guys, that is pretty much my book list moving into 2017. Now, before, you know, I cut off here, but I also have this. Now, this is not really a book. It is actually just a journal to write things down in. But this is a big part of how I'm going to be moving through 2017 and my daily schedule, and just overall, like, learning how I'm going to be doing it is writing a lot of pointers that I find, whether it be through a YouTube video, because I watch a lot of YouTube videos to get a lot of my information and content, and you know, obviously reading the books as well. So I'm going to be writing down any kind of interesting pointers I find and putting them down in here, so I basically have like a master list of like valuable stuff for myself in this moleskin right here. So it's basically like a book outside of my books, and I'm gonna be having a ton of good stuff in here. That's, you know, I would recommend definitely writing stuff down. Actually, the whole idea for getting this in the first place was actually from my buddy Peyton, and Jake as well. Jake also writes down a lot of stuff. So pretty much they write down pretty much anything that they come across, maybe thoughts about yourself. I think that'll be pretty valuable moving into 2017. Definitely would thank them for recommending me to get one of these. Definitely has been beneficial so far, at least with what I've written down in it. And yeah, so guys, that is all for my book list moving into early 2017. If you guys have any recommendations, be sure to leave them down in the comment section below. Those are just the books that I'm going to be moving through that I got recommended to me, or I found interesting and I wanted to read. Guys, that is all for today's episode 1 of the BrenSki Show. Let me know what you guys think. This is a new series. I'm very interested and excited to see what happens with it. Guys, this is going to be coming out once a week. I'm not sure exactly what days these are going to be on. It may be infrequent in the beginning once I'm, you know, figuring out my scheduling and stuff, because I am going back to UCF for spring of 2017. Got to kill it this semester. So, you know, I have to figure out my scheduling. I'm not exactly sure how the releases of these are going to be, but I know I want to do one at least once a week. That is the plan as of right now. May change. I'll let you guys know on social media. Be sure to follow me on my social media if you guys have not followed me there. It will be linked up down here in the description as well. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.